I'm so happy you're here today. Whether you're listening while enjoying your morning coffee, taking a walk, driving home, or simply relaxing after a busy day, this lesson is designed to help you speak English in a way that feels natural, comfortable, and useful in real life. Have you ever had this experience? You know many English words. You understand simple conversations. You can even recognize grammar rules. But when someone suddenly asks you a simple question like, "How's your day going?" your mind becomes completely blank. You know the words, but you don't know which words to use. If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. Many English learners don't struggle because they lack vocabulary. They struggle because they haven't practiced using English the way native speakers actually speak. Real conversations move quickly, but they are also full of simple patterns that you can learn step by step. Today's lesson is going to help you build those patterns naturally. By the end of this lesson, you'll know how to answer everyday questions in a way that sounds warmer, more confident, and much more natural. You won't need complicated grammar or advanced vocabulary. You'll simply learn how native speakers express themselves in daily life. Remember, you don't need to speak fast. You don't need to sound perfect. You don't need a perfect accent. You only need to communicate clearly. Speak naturally. And practice a little every day. That is exactly what we're going to do together. As we go through today's lesson, I encourage you to repeat every sentence out loud. Don't worry if your pronunciation isn't perfect. Every sentence you repeat is helping your brain build a stronger connection between listening and speaking. If you enjoy learning English this way, don't forget to subscribe to Relaxing English Listening so you can continue improving your English with us every week. Take a slow breath. Relax your shoulders. Forget about making mistakes. Let's simply enjoy learning English together. Imagine you are walking into your favorite neighborhood coffee shop on a calm Monday morning. The smell of fresh coffee fills the room. Soft music is playing in the background. People are quietly talking with friends or working on their laptops. You walk to the counter, smile at the barista, and while waiting for your drink, someone you know walks in. It's an old coworker you haven't seen in several months. They smile warmly and say, "Hey, how are you?" This seems like the easiest question in the world. But many English learners answer the same way every single time. "I'm fine." There is nothing wrong with saying "I'm fine." It's correct. It's polite. But native speakers often make their answers sound a little more personal. Let's make this response more natural. Instead of saying, "I'm fine," try saying, "I'm doing pretty well." Listen carefully. "I'm doing pretty well." Now repeat after me slowly. "I'm doing pretty well." Excellent. Let's say it one more time with a relaxed rhythm. "I'm doing pretty well." Notice how smooth it sounds. Here's another option. "I'm doing okay." Repeat after me. "I'm doing okay." Very nice. Now let's make it slightly warmer. "I'm doing pretty well. Thanks for asking." Repeat slowly. "I'm doing pretty well. Thanks for asking." One more time. "I'm doing pretty well. Thanks for asking." Wonderful. Native speakers often add a small extra detail because conversations feel more natural that way. Listen carefully. "I'm doing pretty well. It's been a busy morning." Repeat after me. "I'm doing pretty well. It's been a busy morning." Again. "I'm doing pretty well. It's been a busy morning." Now let's upgrade it one more level. "I'm doing pretty well. It's been a busy morning. But everything's going smoothly." Listen first. "I'm doing pretty well. It's been a busy morning. But everything's going smoothly." Now repeat slowly. I'm doing pretty well. It's been a busy morning, but everything's going smoothly. Excellent work. Notice something important. Native speakers don't always try to sound exciting. Sometimes they simply sound honest. Honest English feels natural English. Imagine your coworker smiles and says, "Busy already?" You smile back. "Yeah. Kind of." Listen carefully. "Yeah. Kind of." Repeat after me. "Yeah. Kind of." Again. "Yeah. Kind of." This tiny phrase appears in everyday conversations all the time. Instead of saying, "Yes," native speakers often soften their answer. "Yeah. Kind of." "Yeah. Pretty much." "More or less." These expressions make conversations feel relaxed. Let's practice another one. Pretty much. Repeat. Pretty much. Again. Pretty much. Now let's put everything together. Hey, how are you? I'm doing pretty well. Busy already? Yeah. Pretty much. Let's read the conversation together. Hey, how are you? I'm doing pretty well. Busy already? Yeah. Pretty much. Very nice. Did you notice how simple those sentences are? None of them use difficult vocabulary. But together, they sound much closer to real English. That's one of the biggest secrets of becoming fluent. You don't need bigger words. You need more natural combinations. Let's imagine another situation. This time, you're meeting a friend for breakfast. They arrive a few minutes late. They smile and sit down. The first thing they ask is, "How's everything?" Again. Many learners answer, "Good." But let's make it more conversational. You could say, "Things are going pretty well." Listen. Things are going pretty well. Repeat after me. Things are going pretty well. Again. Things are going pretty well. Or maybe you've had a long week. You don't want to complain. But you don't want to pretend everything is perfect either. You can say, "I've been a little busy lately." Repeat after me. I've been a little busy lately. Again. I've been a little busy lately. Now let's upgrade it. I've been a little busy lately. But I'm finally catching up. Listen carefully. I've been a little busy lately. But I'm finally catching up. Repeat slowly. I've been a little busy lately. But I'm finally catching up. Wonderful. Notice how adding one short idea makes your English sound much richer. Native speakers love giving small pieces of information. It helps conversations continue naturally. Imagine your friend smiles. "I'm glad to hear that." You reply, "Yeah. Things are finally slowing down." Repeat after me. Yeah. Things are finally slowing down. Again. Yeah. Things are finally slowing down. This expression is very common after a busy period. Now let's practice speaking with emotion. Don't just read the words. Imagine you've really had a stressful week. Take a deep breath. Now say it naturally. Yeah. Things are finally slowing down. Excellent. Every sentence you repeat is training your brain to think in English instead of translating from your first language. You may not notice it immediately, but little by little, your responses become automatic. That's exactly how fluency develops. Let's move into another everyday situation. Imagine you're walking into your office. A coworker smiles as you arrive. Morning ready for another busy day. Instead of saying, "Yes," you might say, "I think so." Repeat after me. I think so. Again. I think so. Or perhaps you feel a little tired. You could say, I'll do my best. Repeat slowly. I'll do my best. Again. I'll do my best. Let's make that even more natural. I'll do my best. I could use another cup of coffee first. Listen carefully. I'll do my best. I could use another cup of coffee first. Repeat after me. I'll do my best. I could use another cup of coffee first. Native speakers say, I could use. All the time. I could use some coffee. I could use a break. I could use some fresh air. It's a soft, friendly way to express what you need. Let's practice. I could use some coffee. Again. I could use some coffee. Now imagine everyone laughs. The atmosphere feels relaxed. A simple conversation has helped everyone start the day with positive energy. That is exactly what real English sounds like. Simple. Warm. Natural. Before we continue into even more useful everyday conversations, here's a small challenge for you. Think about your own morning. How would you answer this question? How are you doing today? Don't translate. Don't search for perfect words. Simply answer naturally. Maybe you say, I'm doing pretty well. Maybe you say, I'm a little tired, but I'm feeling good. Or perhaps, it's been a busy morning, but everything's going smoothly. Take a moment. Say your answer quietly out loud. Excellent. You're already doing something that many learners rarely practice. You're using English to describe your real life. That's a huge step toward thinking in English. In the next part of our lesson, we'll move beyond simple greetings and explore how native speakers keep conversations flowing naturally, even when they need a moment to think or aren't completely sure what to say. You'll discover several expressions that you'll hear almost every single day. And by the end of the next lesson, you'll find yourself responding with much more confidence and much less hesitation as you become more comfortable answering simple questions. Something interesting begins to happen. You stop worrying about finding the perfect sentence, and instead, you start focusing on keeping the conversation going. That's exactly what real communication is about. Let's imagine another everyday situation. This time, you're sitting in a small meeting at work. There are only 4 people in the room. The atmosphere is friendly. But your manager suddenly looks at you and asks, what do you think about this idea? For a second, your mind goes blank. Not because your English isn't good enough, simply because you need a moment to think. Many learners panic in situations like this. They stay silent or quickly say, I don't know. But native speakers rarely answer that way. Instead, they naturally buy themselves a little time. One very useful expression is, that's a good question. Listen carefully. That's a good question. Now repeat after me. That's a good question. Again. That's a good question. Simple. Friendly. Natural. But don't stop there. Let's make it sound even more conversational. That's a good question. Let me think for a second. Listen first. That's a good question. Let me think for a second. Now repeat slowly. That's a good question. Let me think for a second. Excellent. Notice the rhythm. Native speakers don't rush. They pause naturally. That pause actually makes them sound more confident. Let's imagine the conversation. What do you think about moving the meeting to Friday? That's a good question. Let me think for a second. You now have time. Your brain relaxes. You don't need to answer immediately. That small phrase creates breathing space. Let's practice again. That's a good question. Let me think for a second. Wonderful. Here's another expression you'll hear almost every day. I'm not completely sure. Repeat after me. I'm not completely sure. Again. I'm not completely sure. Instead of pretending you know everything, this sentence sounds honest and polite. Let's build it. Basic. I don't know. Natural. I'm not sure. More natural. I'm not completely sure. Advanced. I'm not completely sure. But I think it's worth trying. Listen carefully. I'm not completely sure. But I think it's worth trying. Now repeat. I'm not completely sure. But I think it's worth trying. Excellent. Notice something. Native speakers often soften their opinions. They don't always sound 100% certain. This makes conversations feel more comfortable. Imagine you're discussing a restaurant with a friend. Is that new Italian place any good? You answer. I'm not completely sure. But I've heard good things. Repeat slowly. I'm not completely sure. But I've heard good things. Again. I'm not completely sure. But I've heard good things. Very nice. Let's change the setting. Imagine you're waiting at a train station. Your friend texts you. Are we meeting at platform 4? You aren't certain. Instead of saying, I don't know. Try this. I think so. But let me double check. Listen carefully. I think so. But let me double check. Repeat after me. I think so. But let me double check. Again. I think so. But let me double check. This phrase appears everywhere. At work. While traveling. At school. Even at home. Native speakers constantly say, let me check. Let me double check. Let me see. Let's practice another one. Let me check. Repeat. Let me check. Again. Let me check. Now make it smoother. Let me check really quickly. Repeat. Let me check really quickly. Excellent. Imagine you're talking on the phone. Your friend asks, are you free this Saturday? Instead of answering too quickly, you say, let me check my schedule. Repeat slowly. Let me check my schedule. Again. Let me check my schedule. Great job. These little phrases make your English feel alive. Now let's imagine a completely different situation. You're shopping at a grocery store. You can't find the rice. You walk toward an employee. Instead of saying, rice, you smile and say, excuse me. Could you help me find the rice? Listen carefully. Excuse me. Could you help me find the rice? Repeat after me. Excuse me. Could you help me find the rice? Wonderful. Now imagine the employee answers very quickly. You only understand half of what they said. This happens to everyone. Don't panic. Don't pretend you understood. Simply say, sorry. I didn't catch that. Listen. Sorry. I didn't catch that. Repeat. Sorry. I didn't catch that. Again. Sorry. I didn't catch that. One more time. Sorry. I didn't quite catch that. Excellent. Now, continue naturally. Could you say that again? Listen. Could you say that again? Repeat slowly. Could you say that again? Again. Could you say that again? Many learners worry they'll sound embarrassed. Actually, native speakers say this all the time. Everyone asks people to repeat themselves sometimes. Even native speakers. Let's practice a short dialogue. Excuse me. Where can I find the coffee filters? They're on aisle 12, beside the baking supplies. Sorry. I didn't quite catch that. No problem. They're on aisle 12. Oh. Thanks so much. Now let's read it together. Excuse me. Where can I find the coffee filters? They're on aisle 12. Sorry. I didn't quite catch that. They're on aisle 12. Thanks so much. Excellent work. Notice how natural the conversation feels. There are no difficult words. Just useful English. Let's slow things down for a moment. Take a comfortable breath. Relax your shoulders. You're doing something important right now. Every sentence you repeat is slowly becoming easier to remember. At first, you may need to think before speaking. Later, you'll simply respond. That is the breakthrough every learner is looking for. You don't suddenly become fluent overnight. You become fluent, one natural sentence at a time. Let's continue. Imagine you're having lunch with two coworkers. One of them says, "We're thinking about starting 30 minutes earlier next Monday." Instead of answering immediately, you can say, that might work. Listen carefully. That might work. Repeat. That might work. Again. That might work. Did you notice the little sound at the beginning? Native speakers use these tiny fillers constantly. They sound human. Let's practice a few. Well. Actually. Honestly. Repeat them with me. Well. Actually. Honestly. Excellent. Now let's combine them naturally. Well. I think that could work. Repeat. Well. I think that could work. Again. Well. I think that could work. Or perhaps. Honestly. I haven't thought about that. Listen carefully. Honestly. I haven't thought about that. Repeat. Honestly. I haven't thought about that. Again. Honestly. I haven't thought about that. This sentence is incredibly useful. Someone asks if you want to move abroad. Honestly. I haven't thought about that. Someone asks whether you'll buy a new car. Honestly. I haven't thought about that. Someone asks about your vacation plans. Honestly. I haven't thought about that yet. Simple. Natural. And flexible. Let's practice one more dialogue. So, are you planning to change jobs this year? Honestly. I haven't thought about that. Really? Yeah. I've been focusing on my current projects. Let's read it together. So, are you planning to change jobs this year? Honestly. I haven't thought about that. Really? Yeah. I've been focusing on my current projects. Wonderful. Before we finish today's practice, I'd like you to answer a question by yourself. Imagine, someone asks, "What are your plans for this weekend?" Don't translate. Don't search for perfect grammar. Simply answer naturally. Maybe you say, "I'm not completely sure yet." Maybe. "I think I'll stay home." Or, perhaps, "That's a good question. Let me think for a second." Take a few seconds. Say your answer quietly. Very good. Little by little. You're no longer memorizing English. You're beginning to use it. And that's a completely different feeling. As our conversations become more natural, you'll soon discover another important skill that native speakers use without even thinking. They know how to ask simple follow-up questions that keep conversations flowing effortlessly. In the next lesson, we'll step into new real-life situations where you'll learn how to sound more curious, more engaged, and much more confident while speaking English naturally. As you continue practicing, you'll notice something interesting. Speaking English naturally isn't only about answering questions. It's also about knowing how to keep a conversation alive. Native speakers rarely answer with one short sentence and stop. Instead, they show curiosity, ask simple follow-up questions, and invite the other person to keep talking. The good news is that you don't need hundreds of expressions to do this. A few natural phrases can completely change the way your conversations sound. Imagine you're waiting in line at a neighborhood bakery on a quiet Saturday morning. The smell of fresh bread fills the air. People chat softly while waiting for their orders. And someone standing beside you smiles and says, "This place is always busy." Instead of simply smiling, you have an opportunity to continue the conversation. A very natural response is, "It really is." Listen carefully. It really is. Now repeat after me. It really is. Again. It really is. Notice how short that sentence is. Native speakers often use these small agreement phrases before adding something new. Let's make it a little longer. It really is. Have you been here before? Listen carefully. It really is. Have you been here before? Now repeat slowly. It really is. Have you been here before? Excellent. That one simple question keeps the conversation moving naturally. Let's practice another useful follow-up question. How did you hear about this place? Repeat after me. How did you hear about this place? Again. How did you hear about this place? Questions beginning with "How did you?" are extremely common in everyday conversations. How did you find this cafe? How did you meet? How did you learn English? They're friendly, open, and easy to answer. Imagine the conversation. This place is always busy. It really is. Have you been here before? Actually, this is my first time. Oh, really? How did you hear about it? My sister recommended it. That's nice. She has good taste. Let's read the dialogue together. This place is always busy. It really is. Have you been here before? Actually, this is my first time. How did you hear about it? My sister recommended it. Wonderful. Did you notice that no sentence is complicated? Yet the conversation feels completely natural. That's exactly how real English works. Now imagine another situation. You're walking through a park during the afternoon. You see a neighbor walking their dog. They smile and say, "Beautiful weather today." Instead of simply saying, "Yes," try saying, "It couldn't be better." Listen carefully. It couldn't be better. Repeat after me. It couldn't be better. Again. It couldn't be better. Here's another option. It's perfect for a walk. Repeat. It's perfect for a walk. Again. It's perfect for a walk. Now let's connect the conversation. Beautiful weather today. It really is. It's perfect for a walk. It definitely is. Do you come here often? Listen carefully. Do you come here often? Repeat after me. Do you come here often? Again. Do you come here often? This is one of those questions you'll hear almost everywhere. At parks, coffee shops, gyms, libraries, neighborhood events. Simple questions help people feel comfortable. Let's imagine another scene. You're sitting beside another passenger on a train. The train stops unexpectedly. Everyone looks around. Someone quietly says, "I wonder what's happening." Instead of staying silent, you might respond, "I'm not sure. Hopefully nothing serious." Listen carefully. Hopefully nothing serious. Repeat after me. Hopefully nothing serious. Again. Hopefully nothing serious. Now add a follow-up question. Have you taken this train before? Repeat. Have you taken this train before? Again. Have you taken this train before? Notice how conversations often move from the current situation to a personal question. That pattern is everywhere. Current situation. Personal experience. Shared conversation. Let's practice another useful phrase. That reminds me. Listen carefully. That reminds me. Repeat after me. That reminds me. Again. That reminds me. Native speakers use this expression when one topic naturally leads to another. Imagine your train finally starts moving. The other passenger says, "I was worried we'd be late." You smile. That reminds me. I almost missed my train yesterday. Listen carefully. That reminds me. I almost missed my train yesterday. Repeat slowly. That reminds me. I almost missed my train yesterday. Excellent. Small connecting phrases like this make your English sound much smoother. Let's slow down for a moment. Take a comfortable breath. Think about how different these conversations feel compared to simply answering yes or no. You're learning to participate, not just respond. That's a huge step forward. Now, let's imagine you're having lunch with a friend you haven't seen for several months. After talking for a while, your friend says, "So, what's new?" Many learners freeze when they hear this question. Not because it's difficult, because it's so open. Here's a very natural way to begin. Not too much. Actually. Listen carefully. Not too much. Actually. Repeat after me. Not too much. Actually. Again. Not too much. Actually. Now expand it. Not too much. Actually. I've just been busy with work. Repeat slowly. Not too much. Actually. I've just been busy with work. Excellent. Here's another possibility. A few things. Actually. Repeat. A few things. Actually. Again. A few things. Actually. Notice how the word actually softens the sentence. Native speakers use it constantly. Actually. Actually. I've been learning to cook. Actually. I started a new job. Actually. I just moved. Let's practice another conversation. So, what's new? Not too much. Actually. Still working downtown? Yeah. But I've started a new project. That sounds exciting. Yeah. I'm really enjoying it. Read it together. So, what's new? Not too much. Actually. Still working downtown? Yeah. But I've started a new project. That sounds exciting. I'm really enjoying it. Excellent work. Now let's visit another place. Imagine you're browsing through a bookstore. Someone beside you is looking at the same shelf. They smile. Have you read this one? Even if you haven't, you can keep the conversation going. You might say, "Not yet. But I've heard it's really good." Listen carefully. Not yet. But I've heard it's really good. Repeat after me. Not yet. But I've heard it's really good. Again. Not yet. But I've heard it's really good. Then ask, have you read it? Repeat, have you read it? Again, have you read it? Simple, friendly, natural. This pattern works almost everywhere. I haven't tried it. Have you? I haven't seen it. Have you? I haven't been there. Have you? Let's practice. I haven't been there. Repeat. I haven't been there. Now add the question. Have you? Repeat. Have you? Excellent. Conversations become easier when you realize you don't have to carry them alone. A simple follow-up question invites the other person to speak. That takes the pressure off you. Here's another phrase native speakers use all the time. That sounds fun. Listen carefully. That sounds fun. Repeat after me. That sounds fun. Again. That sounds fun. Or maybe. That sounds interesting. Repeat. That sounds interesting. Again. That sounds interesting. These reactions show interest without requiring complicated vocabulary. Imagine your friend says, I'm taking a photography class. You answer, that sounds interesting. How are you liking it so far? Listen carefully. How are you liking it so far? Repeat after me. How are you liking it so far? Again. How are you liking it so far? Notice that you're no longer giving one-word answers. You're building conversations naturally. Let's finish today's practice with one final real-life scene. Imagine you're leaving the bookstore. The person you spoke with smiles and says, it was nice talking with you. Instead of simply saying goodbye, you respond, it was nice talking with you too. Repeat after me. It was nice talking with you too. Again. It was nice talking with you too. Then add one more sentence. Enjoy the rest of your day. Listen carefully. Enjoy the rest of your day. Repeat slowly. Enjoy the rest of your day. Wonderful. Now let's put everything together. It was nice talking with you. It was nice talking with you too. Enjoy the rest of your day. You too. Take care. Read the conversation one last time. It was nice talking with you. It was nice talking with you too. Enjoy the rest of your day. You too. Take care. Excellent. Before we finish this lesson, I'd like you to imagine one conversation you'll probably have this week. Maybe with a coworker, a cashier, a neighbor, or a friend? Think of one simple follow-up question you could ask. Maybe. How did you hear about that? Maybe. Have you been here before? Or perhaps, how are you liking it so far? Say your question quietly now. Very good. With every lesson, you're becoming less focused on translating and more focused on communicating. That's exactly how natural English grows. In the next part, we'll explore how native speakers express emotions naturally in everyday conversations. So your English won't just sound correct, it will sound warm, genuine, and confidently human. By this point, you've already practiced answering questions, buying yourself time to think, and keeping conversations moving with simple follow-up questions. Those are important skills. But there's another difference between speaking correct English and speaking natural English. Natural English has emotion. Native speakers don't simply exchange information. They react. They encourage each other. They show surprise. They celebrate good news. They express empathy when someone is having a difficult day. The words are usually simple, but the feeling behind them makes every conversation sound alive. Let's step into another real-life situation. Imagine you're arriving at work on a Friday morning. People seem a little more relaxed because the weekend is almost here. As you're making a cup of coffee, one of your coworkers walks in with a huge smile. "I finally finished that project." Instead of only saying, "Good," native speakers usually react with a little more enthusiasm. Try saying, "That's great to hear." Listen carefully. "That's great to hear." Now repeat after me. "That's great to hear." Again. "That's great to hear." Excellent. Notice how positive it sounds. Now let's upgrade it. "That's great to hear, you worked really hard." Listen carefully. "That's great to hear. You worked really hard." Repeat after me. "That's great to hear. You worked really hard." Wonderful. When someone shares good news, native speakers often recognize the effort behind the success. Let's continue the conversation. "I finally finished that project." "That's great to hear. You worked really hard." "Thanks. It feels good to be done." "I bet it does." Listen carefully. "I bet it does." Repeat. "I bet it does." Again. "I bet it does." This tiny phrase is incredibly common. Someone says, "I'm exhausted." You answer, "I bet you are." Someone says, "It was a long drive." "I bet it was." Simple. Natural. Very conversational. Let's practice. "I bet you are." Repeat. "I bet you are." Again. "I bet you are." Excellent. Now imagine a different situation. You're meeting an old friend for lunch. They smile and say, "I finally booked my trip to Japan." Instead of saying, "Nice," let's sound more natural. "That's exciting." Listen. "That's exciting." Repeat after me. "That's exciting." Again. "That's exciting." Now let's make it warmer. "I'm so excited for you." Listen carefully. "I'm so excited for you." Repeat slowly. "I'm so excited for you." Again. "I'm so excited for you." Native speakers often celebrate other people's happiness. It makes conversations feel more genuine. Let's build the dialogue. "I finally booked my trip to Japan." "Really? That's exciting." "Yeah. I've wanted to go for years." "I'm so excited for you." "Thanks. I can't wait." Read it together. "I finally booked my trip to Japan." "Really? That's exciting." "Yeah. I've wanted to go for years." "I'm so excited for you." "Thanks, I can't wait." Wonderful. Now let's change the emotional energy. Not every conversation is about good news. Sometimes people share difficult moments. Imagine, your neighbor says, "My dog hasn't been feeling well." Many learners immediately say, "I'm sorry." That's perfectly correct. But native speakers often add a little more warmth. Try this. "I'm really sorry to hear that." Listen carefully. "I'm really sorry to hear that." Repeat after me. "I'm really sorry to hear that." Again. "I'm really sorry to hear that." Now add another sentence. "I hope everything will be okay." Listen. "I hope everything will be okay." Repeat. "I hope everything will be okay." Again. "I hope everything will be okay." Let's practice the conversation. "My dog hasn't been feeling well." "I'm really sorry to hear that." "Thanks. We're taking him to the vet tomorrow." "I hope everything will be okay." "Thank you. I appreciate that." Notice how only a few extra words completely change the feeling of the conversation. English isn't only about grammar. It's about connection. Let's pause for just a moment. Take a slow breath. You're not only learning sentences, you're learning how people support each other. That's something every language shares. Now let's move into another everyday situation. Imagine you're helping a friend move into a new apartment. After carrying several heavy boxes upstairs, your friend smiles and says, "Thanks so much for helping." Instead of always saying, "You're welcome," try something more conversational. "No problem." Listen carefully. "No problem." Repeat after me. "No problem." Again. "No problem." Now, another option. "Happy to help." Listen. Happy to help. Repeat. "Happy to help." Again. "Happy to help." Or perhaps, "Anytime." Repeat after me. "Anytime." Again. "Anytime." Native speakers rotate between these responses naturally. Let's practice. Thanks for helping. No problem. Thanks for driving me home. Happy to help. Thanks for your advice. Anytime. Excellent. Now imagine a family dinner. Your cousin shows everyone a homemade cake. Everyone looks impressed. Instead of saying, "It's good. Try this. It looks amazing." Listen carefully. "It looks amazing." Repeat after me. "It looks amazing." Again. "It looks amazing." Maybe after tasting it, you say, "This is delicious." Repeat. "This is delicious." Again. "This is delicious." Or perhaps, "You did a great job." Repeat slowly. "You did a great job." Excellent. Giving compliments is another important part of natural English. People appreciate kind words. Let's imagine another conversation. "I made this from scratch." "Really?" "Yeah." "It looks amazing." "Thanks." "You did a great job." Read it together. "I made this from scratch." "Really?" "Yeah." "It looks amazing." "Thanks." "You did a great job." Wonderful. Here's another phrase native speakers use almost every day. Good for you. Listen carefully. Good for you. Repeat after me. Good for you. Again. Good for you. Suppose someone says, "I've been exercising every morning." You can respond, "Good for you." Someone says, "I finally passed my driving test." Good for you. It's short, positive, encouraging. Let's practice. "I finally paid off my student loan." Good for you. "I've been reading every night." Good for you. Excellent. Now let's create another scene. Imagine you're sitting in a small neighborhood cafe. The person beside you accidentally drops their spoon. You pick it up and hand it back. They smile. "Thank you." You reply, "Of course." Listen carefully. "Of course." Repeat after me. "Of course." Again. "Of course." This is another simple alternative to "You're welcome." Now imagine, they say, "That's very kind of you." You smile. "No worries." Listen carefully. "No worries." Repeat after me. "No worries." Again. "No worries." Notice how relaxed these expressions sound. Native speakers often prefer casual warmth over formal perfection. Let's practice one more dialogue. Oh no. I dropped my spoon. Here you go. Thank you. Of course. That's very kind of you. No worries. Excellent. Let's gently increase the pace. Imagine your best friend calls you unexpectedly. They sound excited. I got the promotion. Without thinking too much, you respond. No way. Listen carefully. No way. Repeat after me. No way. Again. No way. Then, continue. That's amazing. Repeat. That's amazing. Again. That's amazing. Finally say. You deserve it. Listen. You deserve it. Repeat. You deserve it. Again. You deserve it. Let's read the conversation naturally. I got the promotion. No way. Yeah. That's amazing. You deserve it. Thank you so much. Wonderful. Did you notice how emotions make conversations more energetic? Small reactions create stronger connections. Now let's slow everything down again. Imagine you're taking an evening walk. The sun is beginning to set. The air feels cooler. You meet a neighbor walking home after work. They sigh softly. It's been a long day. Instead of quickly changing the topic, simply acknowledge their feeling. You can say, I hear you. Listen carefully. I hear you. Repeat after me. I hear you. Again. I hear you. Or, perhaps, I know what you mean. Repeat. I know what you mean. Again. I know what you mean. These expressions don't solve problems. They simply let the other person know they aren't alone. Sometimes that's exactly what people need. Let's practice. It's been a stressful week. I hear you. I've been so busy lately. I know what you mean. Excellent. Every time you use these natural emotional responses, your English begins to sound less like a textbook and more like a real conversation between real people. Before we finish today's lesson, I'd like you to think about someone in your own life. Maybe a friend. Maybe a coworker. Maybe someone in your family. Imagine they tell you one piece of good news. How would you respond? Would you say, That's great to hear. I'm so excited for you. Good for you. That's amazing. Now imagine they share something difficult. Perhaps you respond, I'm really sorry to hear that. I hope everything will be okay. I hear you. Take a few quiet moments. Say those sentences aloud. Feel the emotion behind the words. Beautiful. Remember, fluency isn't only speaking quickly. Fluency is responding naturally, comfortably, and sincerely. You're already moving closer to that goal with every conversation you practice. In our final lesson together, we'll bring everything you've learned into complete everyday conversations. You'll discover how native speakers smoothly express opinions, politely disagree, accept or decline invitations, and finish conversations in a way that feels effortless. By the end, you'll notice that English no longer feels like separate sentences. It begins to feel like one continuous, natural conversation. As we reach the final part of today's lesson, take a moment to appreciate how far you've already come. At the beginning, we practiced simple greetings. Then, you learned how to buy yourself time, ask follow-up questions, and respond with genuine emotion. Now it's time to put everything together. Real conversations aren't perfect. People hesitate. They change their minds. They politely disagree. They accept invitations. Sometimes they say no. And eventually, every conversation comes to a natural ending. These everyday moments are where your English becomes truly useful. Imagine it's Saturday afternoon. You've just finished shopping when your phone buzzes. It's a message from your friend. Hey, a few of us are getting together for dinner tonight. Want to come? Many English learners immediately answer yes or no. Those answers are correct. But native speakers usually make them a little warmer. If you'd like to accept the invitation, try saying, "That sounds great." Listen carefully. That sounds great. Now repeat after me. That sounds great. Again. That sounds great. Let's make it even more natural. That sounds great. I'd love to come. Listen first. That sounds great. I'd love to come. Now repeat slowly. That sounds great. I'd love to come. Excellent. Here's another expression you'll hear every day. Sounds like a plan. Listen carefully. Sounds like a plan. Repeat after me. Sounds like a plan. Again. Sounds like a plan. Imagine the conversation. Want to grab dinner around 7? Sounds like a plan. Perfect. See you then. I'm looking forward to it. Let's read it together. Want to grab dinner around 7? Sounds like a plan. Perfect. See you then. I'm looking forward to it. Wonderful. Now let's imagine a different situation. You're grateful for the invitation, but you've already made other plans. Instead of saying no, try something much more natural. I'd love to, but I already have plans. Listen carefully. I'd love to, but I already have plans. Repeat after me. I'd love to, but I already have plans. Again. I'd love to, but I already have plans. Notice how the sentence begins with something positive. Native speakers often soften disappointing news before saying no. Let's practice another version. Thanks for inviting me, but I'll have to pass this time. Listen carefully. Thanks for inviting me, but I'll have to pass this time. Repeat slowly. Thanks for inviting me, but I'll have to pass this time. Excellent. You may remember the phrase, I'll have to pass. It's polite, friendly, and very common. Imagine your friend replies, no problem. Maybe next weekend. You answer, that sounds good. Listen carefully. That sounds good. Repeat. That sounds good. Again. That sounds good. Now let's imagine you're planning a weekend trip with friends. Someone asks, should we leave early Saturday morning? Instead of saying, I agree, native speakers often respond, I think that's a good idea. Listen carefully. I think that's a good idea. Repeat after me. I think that's a good idea. Again. I think that's a good idea. Or perhaps, that makes sense. Listen. That makes sense. Repeat. That makes sense. Again. That makes sense. This expression works in countless situations. We should leave early to avoid traffic. That makes sense. We should book the tickets today. That makes sense. Simple. Natural. Very useful. Now let's practice another important skill. Sometimes you don't completely agree. You don't want to sound rude. You simply want to express another opinion. Imagine two coworkers are discussing where to have lunch. One says, let's get burgers. You prefer something lighter, Instead of saying, "No, try this. I see what you mean, but I'd rather have something lighter." Listen carefully. I see what you mean, but I'd rather have something lighter. Now repeat slowly. I see what you mean, but I'd rather have something lighter. Excellent. Notice the beginning. I see what you mean. This shows respect before sharing a different opinion. Let's practice. I see what you mean. Repeat. I see what you mean. Again. I see what you mean. Now, another useful expression. Maybe we could. Listen carefully. Maybe we could. Repeat after me. Maybe we could. Again. Maybe we could. Imagine the conversation. Let's get burgers. I see what you mean. But maybe we could try that new salad place. Actually, that sounds good. Perfect. Everyone feels respected. That's exactly how natural conversations work. Now let's change the setting once again. Imagine you're visiting a local farmer's market on Sunday morning. A vendor smiles warmly and says, "Can I help you find anything? You aren't ready yet." Instead of saying, "No," you can politely say, "I'm just looking. Thanks." Listen carefully. I'm just looking. Thanks. Repeat after me. I'm just looking. Thanks. Again. I'm just looking. Thanks. This phrase is extremely common. You'll hear it everywhere. Stores, bookshops, markets, shopping malls. Now imagine you finish shopping. The cashier hands you your bag. Have a wonderful day. You smile and reply, "You too." Listen carefully. You too. Repeat after me. You too. Again. You too. Simple expressions like these make everyday English feel effortless. Let's continue. Imagine you're talking with a neighbor outside your apartment building. You've been chatting for several minutes. But now you need to leave. Many learners suddenly say, "Bye." Native speakers usually end conversations a little more gently. Try saying, "I should get going." Listen carefully. I should get going. Repeat after me. I should get going. Again. I should get going. Now make it warmer. I should get going. But it was really nice talking with you. Listen. I should get going. But it was really nice talking with you. Repeat slowly. I should get going. But it was really nice talking with you. Excellent. The other person might reply, "It was nice talking with you too." Then you can say, "Take care." Listen carefully. Take care. Repeat after me. Take care. Again. Take care. Or perhaps, have a great rest of your day. Repeat. Have a great rest of your day. Again. Have a great rest of your day. These are the kinds of endings you'll hear every single day. Let's practice one complete conversation from beginning to end. Imagine you're leaving a small neighborhood cafe after meeting a friend. "Thanks for meeting me today." "Of course. It was great catching up." "We should do this again sometime." "Definitely." "I should get going." "Me too." "Take care." "You too. Have a great weekend." Let's read the conversation together. "Thanks for meeting me today." "Of course. It was great catching up." "We should do this again sometime." "Definitely." "I should get going." "Me too." "Take care." "You too. Have a great weekend." Wonderful. Now I'd like to bring everything you've learned today into one final story. Imagine you're walking through your neighborhood on a beautiful Saturday morning. You stop at your favorite coffee shop, and the barista smiles. "Good morning, how are you doing?" You answer, "I'm doing pretty well. It's been a relaxing morning so far." While waiting for your coffee, another customer notices the book you're holding. "Oh, I've heard that's really good." You smile. "Really? Have you read it?" "I finished it last month." "How did you like it?" "I couldn't put it down." "That sounds interesting. I'll definitely keep reading." A few minutes later, your phone rings. Your friend says, "Would you like to join us for lunch?" "I'd love to. But I already promised my family I'd visit this afternoon." "No worries. Maybe next weekend." "Sounds like a plan." You finish your coffee and begin walking home. Along the way, you see your neighbor planting flowers. They look beautiful. "Thank you. You did a great job." "That's very kind of you." "It was nice seeing you." "You too. Take care." Did you notice something? None of those conversations required difficult grammar. None of them used advanced vocabulary. Yet every exchange sounded natural because the speakers reacted, listened, asked questions, showed emotion, and finished conversations politely. That's what fluent English really sounds like. Before we finish today's lesson, I'd like you to complete one final speaking exercise. Think about your own day. Imagine someone asks, "How's your day going?" Answer naturally. Then imagine they invite you somewhere. Respond. Ask one follow-up question. React to one piece of good news. Finish the conversation politely. Take your time. Say every sentence aloud. Don't worry if you make mistakes. Every sentence you speak is building confidence. Every phrase you repeat is strengthening your ability to think directly in English. Progress isn't measured by perfection. It's measured by consistency. If today's lesson felt a little easier than your last English lesson, you're already moving in the right direction. Keep returning to these conversations. Listen again. Shadow each sentence. Repeat them while walking, cooking, driving, or relaxing at home. The more often you hear natural English, the more naturally you'll begin to speak it yourself. Thank you for spending this time with me here on Relaxing English, listening. I truly hope today's lesson helped you feel more comfortable, more confident, and more connected to real, everyday English. If you enjoyed practicing together, I'd love for you to leave a comment using one sentence you learned today. Even a simple sentence is a meaningful step forward. And if you'd like to continue building your English, one natural conversation at a time, don't forget to subscribe, so we can practice together again in the next lesson. Until next time, keep listening, keep speaking, keep believing in your progress. And remember that every small conversation you practice today is helping create the confident English speaker you're becoming tomorrow.